Hey there, Capricorn. This is Chronic Joy Tarot. This is going to be your February 2018 general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. It is definitely general, so it may not land on all of you. That's fine. You can put it away and come back to it at a later date. I like to say that whenever you do decide to listen to these is when that message is meant to be received into your experience. And it may not make sense mentally right away, but if your spirit receives it, it starts to sort of marinate within you and you work on it. Okay, these readings here are using the Zen Tarot deck. My readings are much less about events and others and predictive outcomes in your life and more about your own spirit and where you are now and what you can do to further develop that and continue your expansion. Okay, so it's all about you, okay, Capricorn? And then this month at the end of the reading, I'm going to pull a card of love for you, being February with Valentine's Day or that kind of a spirit. The Mastery of Love, Toltec Wisdom by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'll pull one card, a love message for you, and that is self-love message, how to expand and develop the love within you. Okay, the oracle card I pulled for this reading is from the Ascended Masters deck, and it is the energy of listening. The first thing that came to mind for me, that came through for Capricorns, is more internal, less external focus right now. Okay, when we are listening, when we are rested and meditative and quiet and receiving, you're expanding. When you're external and talking and out there and communicating and listening to the chatter in your mind and all that, that's you're making less progress. You're making progress in your external world, but at this point right now for you, Capricorn, the guidance is to tap into your inner world. Okay, and to really spend more moments in quiet, spend more moments meditating, praying, whatever it is that helps you to enhance the connection to your inner being. Okay, so spend a little more time daily just resting, breathing, not thinking about the next 10 steps of your job or your school or your family, just being. Okay, this spread's called the key. We have the starting point or the actual key to unlocking this energy here. And then we have the yin and the yang. This is the feminine or the internal energy and the masculine or external energy. The meditative card, this is the sort of the resting point of if things get a little bit scattered along your progress, you can always come back to this idea. Body, mind, and being, and then the outcome. Okay? The key. That's my new spread here that I'm doing. Okay, your starting point here in regards to listen, in regards to more internal energy being developed, is letting go. And the first thing I hear when I see this is let go of the mind chatter. The mind chatter is so powerful, but it's also could be misguiding sometimes. Our minds, our logic, and our intentions are wonderful tools to keep us moving forward in our life, but at times it can be a little too loud, right? So definitely let go of those chattering thoughts and start to listen. Breathe and listen to what your body says. Breathe and listen to, the intuitive flashes that come through and what you feel is needed, in this moment to progress. Sorry, I shook that. Okay? Internally and within you, it's time to tap into that richness of your unique self, that abundance that you carry, that only you carry, right? And by letting go and resting back and doing less talking and more listening, you'll really feel that fullness of being. You'll feel the connection to your heart. You'll feel it more readily, and you can stay attached to it as you move forward. Okay. And externally in your external world, or this masculine card is clinging to the past. So remember, this figure here, she's got her memories that she's just absorbed in, all her past memories, but they're so, she's so, caged in by them that she's unable to really just be and see what is right, the life that is right here. So cautious of this for you in your day-to-day life. This is definitely more internal, more listening, and less, really just being. It's more being right in the moment. And if in your external world you find that sometimes that's harder to do, because of how things used to be, or your old habits or memories or anything, you will know, be aware of when this stuff comes up, so that you can sort of rest back into this letting go, tapping into the heart space energy. Okay? The position of meditation is patience. So yeah, everything takes its cycle. Everything has its, everything goes in their own cycle and timing. And for you to be able to remember that, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the things you have to get done and all the thoughts that are going on in your mind and all that, then just know everything gets done in time. Everything is working for you. And at times it doesn't feel like that, but when you're more external and pushing against and talking it up and listening to all the, lists that go on inside your mind, you're missing out on the natural universal flow that's right there ready to support you in your progress. Okay? It doesn't mean to never take action and never do a thing and never listen to your logic, but there is a balance. And at this time right now for you, Capricorn, it is asking you to pull back and rest and listen. Okay? And know that in good time, everything will come flowing to you again. It will all work out. Okay? This is body, mind, and being. And so the body card, suppression. Okay, so yes. So too much anxiety or worrisome, too many thoughts, too much action, too much interaction, and not enough resting in the moment is creating a physical blockage for you somewhere. So if you're someone who, and this could be, literally, say you using your throat chakra a little bit too much and you're talking, then you could be creating, a suppressive energy in your physical body, in maybe the chakra below that in your heart, or in your solar plexus chakra or something. There could be just blockage somewhere, right, physically. And so again, to combat this, if you feel you're up against some physical blockages or challenges, rest back into this meditative position, rest back into that patient, willing, receptive self, and know that things are working themselves out for you. Just know it. It's moment to moment. This isn't like sit and live your life, in meditation. It's not that. But when you come up against these things, rest back into that knowledge that it's all working for me. And with time, I will see the results, right? In your mind, it's the guilt card. One of the bestly illustrated, one of the best illustrations in this deck. I love it because that guilty mind, look at that, just clawing at her mind because she just is so wrapped up in the things she's said and done and worried about how it's affecting others and worried if she's doing the right thing. This is another really powerful sign for you when you start to feel uncertain if you're, your growth is let's see. So let me start over. Let me start from the beginning. Pulling back and talking less and just listening more to your spirit might make you feel disconnected or detached from, or others around you might feel like, what are you doing? Like, we got stuff to get done. What are you doing just sitting there resting? Why isn't there any input? And that might make you feel like you're doing something wrong. But remember that self-care, that centeredness, which a lot of people take self-centered to be a negative thing, but self-centeredness is one of the most beautiful, powerful energies to really operate from. And the more self you have, the more in touch you are, the more you have to give to others, right? Because you've tapped into that inner abundance. So, be aware of these tales that your mind tells you, that maybe this path you're on to, back off a little bit and listen to your heart more often is not the right way to go. But don't worry about that. Rest back into this patience space again, because it's all working out for you. It starts within you, and then it all gets worked out. Okay? And your entire being, I see exhaustion. So if that is you, the way you are out in the world, and it's all taking a toll on every aspect of you, yeah, it's definitely this listen card, this meditative sort of pulling back, less action, more allowing, this is the message for you right now. This is important, because you could come up against this body, mind, and being card. These are all pretty intense. And so resting back into that space where your heart rests and tapping into your inner world and your inner knowledge, and watching for signs that help guide you to the next step instead of forcing your way through it, it will ease some of these potential intense energies for you. Okay? The outcome of this card is perfect, the Fool. Just trust it, right? Just you're just getting started with this stuff. Or you're just starting a new phase. You're just going down a new path. And if you think about it, every day we wake up, we're starting a new path. Trust it. This guy is flying he's going to probably step right off that cliff, but he doesn't care. He's looking up to the sky. He's got his flowers. He's got his rainbow clothes on. He's like, yeah, life's great. Life's great. And you know what? Yeah, if I fall off that cliff for a minute, I know I'll get caught by a branch or a ledge or something, and I'll be fine. Not worried. And this is more the energy we want you to take. As you tap into that inner being and really just stop for a minute, it becomes a lot easier to proceed with, with fewer cares and less weight, because you've sort of shored up your internal self, and you're allowing space for things to flow, because you're listening for signs, you're listening to spirit, you're listening to your own inner guides. Okay. And that clears space for, the next things to come along for you. Okay. And your card of love I'm going to pull for you from this Toltec Wisdom deck is: to begin a great relationship, know what you want. And on the back here, it says, know what the needs of your body are, what the needs of your mind are, and what fits well with you. This is more about this, like, listen to yourself. Know it. Know what's right for you. There are millions of men and women, and some will make a good match for you, and others won't. The two of you only need to be like a key in the lock, a match that works. So if you're not in a relationship, this practice, this listening, and this really getting your internal world, really getting in touch with your whole being, will allow you to, it will allow another energy that matches yours in. If you're spending all your time here with, physical manifestations, mental blocks, and literal all around exhaustion in your being, this is the love you will attract. This is the love that will reflect back to you. So we want you to work more on that opening up of your internal self, and listening for the signs. And then know that if you are in a relationship and it is going well, this card doesn't have to mean a card between a man and a woman. This could mean the relationship between you and you. That connection that you're always seeking, and to avoid this disconnection, which are these energies up here. So this great relationship, you can be in a great relationship with yourself. And actually, it's really important that you are before, attempting to relate to others. So you got this, Capricorn. You just need a little more quiet time for yourself in the next few weeks, and you will feel refreshed and ready to go again, just like the Fool. Okay? I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you again really soon next time. Take care.